Hello and welcome back again this evening for some more Malice Reacts. We have this week's Paranormal Files as they continue their UK run on the witches here. We have Gallows Hill, part 2 of their current ongoing series for, I assume, the entire Halloween season. So without further ado, we have it up on the big screen. I'm going to take my position as I did last time again. So, have a moment. May look like I'm stationary on the screen, but I assure you, my every movement's being tracked. Come on. Why are you? Why do you keep wanting to put me there? I'm right here. Stop that. Oh, actually, it would help if I'm on the right program to actually redo it here. Bah. Aha! Take that, camera. Alright. Also readjusting the fan. It's a little warm in here with the doors closed. Anyway. I'm peeking through my shirt. Alright. Let's go.
On tonight's very special episode of the Paranormal Files, we have followed the trail of the Pendle Witches all the way to Hanging Hill. Yes, this is the former location of the Gallows in the town of Lancaster, where the Pendle Witches met their ends. Right now, we are deep in this forest area searching for those tortured spirits and the spirits of the hundreds of other individuals that were executed on this hill. Let me tell you, the history that we're about to show you is absolutely shocking. Tonight is the conclusion of our two-part Pendle Hill series. You are going to learn some things, you are going to see some things, and hopefully right now we are about to experience some things that will shock you. My name is Colin Brown. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and you're watching the Paranormal Files.
Okay, hi everyone, my name's Paul. I'm from Haunted Nights and we're here with the Paranormal Files, doing the continuation of the Pendle Witch story. The guys were over at the Pendle Witch villages last night, and this is like the concluding part of the story, the trial and execution of the Pendle Witches. So we're going to take you on a little bit of a tour, give you some of the stories, and then we're going to take you to the actual place where the Pendle Witches were executed and where they still are today. And we're going to get to do a little bit of ghost hunting up there. So taking it back really before the Pendle Witch story, before 1612, on the throne was King James VI of Scotland. He'd taken over this country, this New England, and it was very sort of dark, and civil war was breaking out. There was long, harsh winters. Crops were failing in the summers, and the villages were quite isolated and turning in on themselves. Now, King James was a paranoid king. He'd taken over this new land. Prior to that, he'd been over in Denmark to pick up his new bride, the Princess Anne of Denmark. On his way back, coming past Norway, this flotilla of ships was hit by a storm. The admiral of the flotilla pulled the ships into Norway, jumped on board the king's ship and said, "This is the work of witches." And King James, "Okay, tell me more, what's going on?" "Yeah, we've been cursed, we're going back to Berwick-upon-Tweed. They obviously don't want you back there with your new bride. We've been cursed." So when the storm passed, the flotilla got underway again, got back to Berwick-upon-Tweed, and King James then rounded up some of the poor down and outs, locals, people on the edge of society, accused them of witchcraft, and over 100 people were executed for creating the storm. He then took over this England. It was fairly unruly. He got magistrates here and there. Some of them, sort of cared about what they did. Some of them just weren't really bothered and quite happy with the situation. He wrote a book, and it was called the Book of Demonology. And in simple terms, it was an instruction on what to look for and how to catch witches. And at the same time, because he'd taken over Parliament, he changed the laws. So it made it so simple to basically have somebody executed for witchcraft. You didn't need to be caught in the act of performing witchcraft. That you didn't need any evidence of what you'd done with your powers of witchcraft. All you needed was a simple confession. That was enough to get you to places like this, Lancaster Castle, the courts, and ultimately to get you executed. Some of the magistrates received the book,
except for the same, so
weren't really bothered. Some of the magistrates saw this as being a way to win favour with the king, the new king. Now, this new king was paranoid. His mother, Mary, Queen of Scots, she'd had her head lopped off. His father had been murdered. He'd taken over England. Guy Fawkes had tried to blow him up. So they were out to get him. Good reason to be paranoid. So we come down to Pendle. The magistrate at Pendle, a gentleman called Roger Knowles. He received his book of demonology, this instruction on how to catch witches, and thought, this is how to win favour with the new king. This is going to help me up through the ranks. And he was living in the Forest of Bowland, the area where you guys were last night, the sort of New Church in Pendle, Barley area. The Pendle witch story started feuding families, all sort of ganging up on each other, trying to settle old scores. Accusations were running wild. This was brought to the attention of Roger Knowles. Many of them were arrested, brought over to Lancaster Castle, where they were held in a cell which is roughly 20 foot by 20 foot. Total darkness. It is, even today, you go down there and it's cold. So in April it would be bitterly cold. It's always damp, there's always sort of water on the floor. The conditions were harsh. They were given enough food basically just to survive on, which was bread and water. Now one of the old ladies, old Demdike, she never made it to trial. She was a ripe old age of 83, and just the harsh conditions finished her off. The others made it to trial, and on the words of a child, were accused of witchcraft. And basically the two judges that were sitting on the jury, August the 13th, the trial started, 3-day trial, had enough evidence, and they were all accused of witchcraft, returned to the cells, and were set to be executed the following day up on Gallows Hill, which is one of the highest points looking over Lancaster.
So what was the evidence used against these witches? Like, what did they say they were doing?
It was basically the family feuds, and they were accusing each other of anything from murder. They were one of the families accused the other family of causing murder going back 20 years. Okay, but it was enough for Roger Knowles to sort of bring them in and accuse them of witchcraft. There was other stories of them making milk go sour, being able to have people stricken down if they asked them for some pins or some milk, and if they refused, then they believed they had the power to be able to lame them. The terms is so. Roger Knowles had all this evidence. He had all the witness statements. Now, bearing in mind they'd been in total darkness from April until August. When they brought them to trial, they were in a terrible state. Okay, they'd not seen daylight for all this time. They'd survived on bread and water in terrible conditions, no sanitary conditions, in a small space. John, one of the youngest, a male accused of witchcraft, he went in, fit, 18-year-old young man. When he come out to go and stand in front of the jury, he couldn't string two words together. And on the question of, you've been accused of witchcraft, how do you plead? A nod was good enough. That was it. You were down for execution.
That's crazy. Mm. And we were talking, from yesterday's video, we were even a little bit confused. The women accused of witchcraft, some of them actually believed that they were doing stuff like that.
Going back into the 1600s, they could have been herbalists when England was good and the crops were fine and people were generally sort of happier. The wise woman, if you like, would be called in, and if your cow had got mastitis and she cured it through herbs or through medicine, it was all good. She was your social worker, she was your midwife. They were called cunning women. So they sort of covered all aspects of that. Now it's when the environment changed, say the crops failed and they started to turn in each other. So this time you've called your cunning woman in, and this time she didn't cure your cow, she killed it. That's what the tide started to turn against these people who were on the edge of society. They did make remedies out of herbs, and they did believe they had these powers to be able to heal and to be able to help. It was the change in the environment, the change in the times that turned people against them.
So did the people in town want the witches to hang?
Yes, with the outbreak of the Civil War and with the conditions worsening, then these people that were on the edge of society that once were their helpers almost then became their enemies, and they wanted them to be cleared from the regions.
And there was a reward for like turning in.
Yes, quite often the magistrates posted that if you've got a neighbour who was you thought was a witch, then there would be rewards for turning those people in, especially if you could also present evidence that you'd seen them maybe grave digging. They probably hadn't, but if you wanted to get rid of your neighbour, it was the ideal way to do it.
Having a land dispute with the guy next door, just say he's a witch and turn him in.
Probably one of the most famous of the Pendle Witches is a lady called Alice Nutter. Now Alice was a woman with money. She owned her own properties, and she took on Roger Knowles on more than one occasion on land battles and beat him.
Really?
She was an inconvenience to the magistrate. She was a woman with a voice, she was a woman with money, and she was had quite a powerful family. So to be able to pull her in on the witch trials and get her accused of witchcraft, it was perfect for Roger Knowles.
It was a win-win for him.
Yeah, he got rid of a bit of a problem for himself.
And then made a little penny as well.
Yeah.
So they didn't have conflict of interest back then?
No, not really, no.
On the books.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna walk and talk more, but I just had a question. We came in here earlier today when we had some time off, and I didn't know this was like it says right here, the prison.
HMP Lancaster.
Executions.
Yes, yeah.
Can you just talk about this castle for a second?
Okay, yeah. I mean, the castle was a strategic Roman building, where on the not far from the coast here, and the river runs through, so it's an ideal place for the Romans to build a castle. So it's been here for many years. Coming further up in time, it then became HMP Lancaster. So it was a full working prison. It's also been used for holding prisoners for many years and lots of executions. Now, in the days of the Pendle Witches, the executions took place outside of town, which was quite normal in the UK, and it was always on the highest point above the town. When we talk about Matthew Hopkins, he started the witch trials down in Essex. His witch trials, the Chelmsford witch trials, with the 29 people from Manningtree and Mistley, they were executed on Gallows Hill above Chelmsford, which is now a lovely housing estate called Primrose Hill. They were always done on the highest point because hangings were a public day out. It was a sort of big party, festival, fete atmosphere. That started to wane a little bit, and they were sort of then used more as a warning to the locals that if you commit these crimes, this is what's going to happen to you. And then they started to take place outside here where we are now.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So there'd be gallows put up there on certain days, and the executions took place here now. After that, then hangings became non-public, if you like, and they took place inside. Now, Lancaster, outside of London, was the hanging capital of England. There was more executions in Lancaster than anywhere else in the country apart from London.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
What a nickname. The
Yeah.
hanging capital of England.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The later days, if you do go into the castle, because they had so many hangings and they were burying them as close to the gallows as possible in unmarked graves, they started to run out of space. So what they did is they buried them upright because they could fit more in. Yeah.
Inside of you?
Inside the castle.
Where inside?
There's a big exercise yard
Yeah.
in there, under there.
How many people are buried there?
It's unknown, again, because it's gone on for so many years. And again, because all as we know about the Pendle Witches from the court trials, A gentleman called Thomas Potts was the clerk of court, and he wrote down everything that was said verbatim. And it is actually in a book today, and it's called The Wonderful Discovery of Witches in Lancashire. It's written in Old English, and it's really, really difficult to read. But what you can read from it, that if you were executed, you were buried in close proximity to the gallows. So inside, outside, here, Gallows Hill, Gallows Hill.
So people are buried out here?
Yeah.
Like right here?
Yeah, underneath. The cobbles are probably from Victorian times, so you're probably going back late 1700s, 1800s for the cobbles. But before that, it would have just been dirt.
That's fucking crazy.
That's really nuts.
Yeah, this place would be a hell of a place for a ghost hunt.
Yeah, there's a place that we go to in Nottingham. It's called the Gallows of Justice, and it was one of the only places in England where you could be arrested, tried, and executed on the same day.
Really?
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they got the courtrooms. You were the holding cells. You were arrested. You went and saw the judge in the courtroom. You were then taken outside and executed. And again,
I don't know what's better to think about, though, like just getting it done that day, or them keeping you in a dark cell for months.
Yeah, I think keeping them in the dark cells for the duration that they did was to grind them down. Yeah.
Force a confession out of them. They don't want to go back in there.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Well,
Shit.
you want to start our walk?
Yeah, we'll go for a little bit of a walk. Now, the gentleman that looked after the Pendle Witches was a gentleman called Thomas Cavell. Now, he was head jailer, and he was also Lord Mayor of Lancaster City on more than one occasion, so very, very highly thought of. But he was quite a barbaric man. If he didn't get what he wanted from you, he cut your ear off.
Really?
Yeah.
Lovely.
No messing about, no sort of torture, just lop your ear off.
Why the ear?
It was the easiest thing to do, I think, and then if you still didn't tell him what he wanted, you lost the other one as well, which tended to get what he wanted.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he was a harsh man, but he was very well thought of, and often he's seen walking this walk that we're doing now. Sort of quite a short, stout man, best described almost like wearing like a brown Hessian type long coat. And he would often be seen, and people will sort of walk past or this gentleman will walk past them. They'll do a sort of double take, and he's either walking off or he's disappeared, and they think, oh, maybe there's a reenactment day or something going on. But no, it's Thomas Cavell doing his rounds.
Yeah, better watch your ear.
Walking on through.
Yeah.
Pay the ghost no heed.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy around here. Like the vibes. This castle, man. It's so imposing.
There are not many castles in America.
No.
No.
All right, man.
This is the Priory of Lancaster. Now, in the UK, however high up you were in society, you got buried close to the church. So if you were a politician, a vicar, a reverend, your grave was always sort of close to the church. Thomas Potts, who was the jailer, who looked after the Pendle Witches, he was that highly thought of. He's actually buried inside so that's how sort of prestigious he was seen. So.
Even though he was chopping up
people's ears, yeah, it got him a seat inside.
Wow.
I think the boy got results, I guess. I don't know.
But, so that's where he is now, and that's where he ruled. Okay, the building behind us is called the Judges' Lodgings. It was the home of Thomas Cavell, and the judges would come on the specific days when the court trials were going on, and they would stay with Thomas Cavell. It does make you wonder how much talk went on behind the scenes. Okay, we've got this trial coming up, I'm the jailer, we've got these people, we need this verdict.
Yeah. How are we going to get it out?
Yeah. The judges would come, they would stay here with Thomas Cavell. On the date of the Pendle Witch trials, there was 2 judges. They stayed here for 3 days. So they would walk, basically follow the steps that we're going to go back up to the castle daily, sit in judgment, and then return back to the luxury of this fantastic mansion that's behind you now.
What about hauntings? Anything?
There has been several ghost hunts done in there, and Thomas Cavell has been seen and communicated with. But again, we've just followed his steps round from his castle, where his resting place, to his residence. So this is where he's seen to still walk today.
I wouldn't mind living in a mansion like that.
It doesn't seem too bad.
Got Enough plush comfort, so you'll be fine, yeah.
We brought you to the pub, but you're
How
not...
do people get both of their feet upright? Left and right.
We've brought you to the pub. We're not going in.
This is where they had their last drink?
This is where they spent their last night.
Oh.
So after they'd been condemned to execution, they were brought here and they spent their last night on the middle floor. The unusual thing about this pub is normally pubs have cellars and the beer's pumped up. This is gravity fed down.
Really?
Yeah, so the cellar in effect is the middle floor. So they spent their last night in relative comfort. So on August 20th, a horse and cart pulled up. They were loaded onto the back of it, along with their coffins, and they were taken off up to Gallows Hill. They did stop at a pub on the way up, called the Golden Lion, where they had their last drink. Now on the day of their execution, there was other people being executed as well for the petty crimes talked about. And there was one young lad refused his last drink. He was taken up to Gallows Hill. He was put on the stool. He was asked for final words. He confessed because they believed if they confessed they went up rather than down. The stool was kicked away. Several minutes later, a messenger boy come running up. The king had pardoned him.
Oh, man.
Don't.
Minutes later?
Never refuse your last drink. It could save your life.
Jeez. Noted.
Yeah.
I'm sober, man. That's up.
You're fine.
Not a cool joke.
No.
I'll take a water, please.
Yeah. We have spoke to the lovely people that own this place, and we said to them about the ghosts. They said, "Yeah, we do have ghosts. We said, can we come in and maybe see what we get?" And they said, "We've got ghosts. We know we've got ghosts. We're happy. They're happy, and we want to keep it that way." Yeah.
Now, I got a question.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of bizarre that they would have them in like the worst conditions possible and then give them a nice room and a drink. What's with the sympathy there?
It wouldn't be that nice. It would be straw on the floor, but compared to what they had, it would be nice. But it wouldn't be, there wouldn't be sort of four-poster beds and stuff. It would just be basically an empty room with straw on the floor. But they'd have daylight, they'd have a decent meal, and then they were taken off for execution.
Why was that? Just like kind of like a last meal type thing?
Yeah. It's almost their destiny was decided, and they were allowed a little bit of luxury, if you like, for their last night. I suppose like now we do. People are going to be executed. They have a last wish, last meal. They can have what they want, can't they? So it's sort of similar to that, I guess. Yeah. So we're just leaving the judges' lodges now. We're going to follow in the footsteps of the judges' lodgings back up to the castle. So the judges would have walked this little walk that we're going to do on the way up to their assizes, their court days. The front of the building looks a little bit more modern. I think it's had a little bit of work. So the original sort of is this side.
And you just said this is like exactly like how it looks?
Yeah, nothing will have changed. This is the original building, the Cavell's house, judges' lodgings, the little sort of passageway going through.
That's so interesting. 400 years ago and it still looks the same.
Yeah.
Quite the little
We're
road.
going to sort of carry on up to Gallows Hill for the final resting place of the
quiet
Pendle
little
Witches, the
place.
spot the way they were executed and where they still are today.
Would you say that area is creepy?
Yes, you'll see when we get there. Because what also adds to the atmosphere, just at the back of the park was an asylum.
Really?
Yeah, it's no longer there, but yeah, it's the sort of park's in the grounds, sort of, so you got a bit of that going on as well.
Sounds literally right up our alley. All right, man. We'll follow you.
Yep, so what I'll do is on our way up to Gallows Hill, we've left the castle behind. This is the route that the condemned people would have taken going up to Gallows Hill. On the side of the wall there is the history of the pub dating back to 1612, and explaining that this was the pub that everybody that was brought to for their final drink before their final destination. It explains a little story about the teetotal guy who refused his final drink and got up to the Gallows Hill, was executed up there, and just within minutes of his execution, a pardon arrived from the king, but it was just too late.
That's so sad. So this has been a
taken his
bar
drink and also should
or
have
a pub
shuffled his
since
feet a
then.
bit more.
1612.
That is
Could have gotten out of there.
same names.
Yeah, so as far as I know, it's kept the same name. But it's the last watering hole for the damn criminals making their way to Gallows Hill to be executed in times gone by. It seems some like the burn decided to return. Sightings of a nun, that figure had been reported on several occasions, which would correspond with the pub's history. As those travelling past the Golden Line on the way to the gallows would have been accompanied by a nun. One other story of the teetotal saddler who refused his last drink while en route to Gallows.
Question: what's a teetotal saddler?
A saddler would have been like he would have made leather saddles, horse saddles, yeah. Teetotal, no alcohol.
There you go.
Teetotal. Wait, so it's teetotal or like a sober guy?
Yep.
Teetotal.
Teetotaler, man. I like that shit.
Yeah. Teetotal.
I'm gonna start calling myself that. Sounds cooler than so.
Yeah.
Well, away from civilization we go.
Yep. Up to Gallows Hill.
Gallows Hill.
Okay, we've left the castle behind and the judge's lodge and everything else. We're actually following the footsteps of the Pendle Witches. We're now arrived at Gallows Hill. Just going to take a short walk up to the top point and finish off the story up there, and then we're going to do a little bit of ghost hunting.
Alrighty.
Would you describe this as one of the creepier places in this area?
Through the whole city, it's got its own vibe. When you walk up there and you stand at the highest point and you're looking across Lancaster, you can actually see the final sight of those witches there. And then as we go down into the sort of the depths of the hill where we know the sort of the people that were executed here are buried, the atmosphere completely changes. It's quite a dark place.
Yeah, before we go up there, what's the energy like up there? How would you describe it?
It changes quite frequently. It can go from anything to being like deadly silent, really, really still, to actually sort of quite a sinister feel. And it depends who's around. We've just done a ghost hunt up here this evening, and we did the Estes and the name Roger, and it was a guy and he was sort of quietly spoken, and then all of a sudden he just burst out, Roger, Roger, Roger. Well, Roger Knowles was the guy that was responsible for the execution of the witches. And then all of a sudden it changed. He spoke in a much quieter voice, and he was, help me, help me. And when we got him off the Estes, he said the man's voice was very sort of aggressive, very demanding. And the woman's voice was almost like she was like fearful with the help me, help me.
Damn.
And that was just tonight?
That was tonight.
Shit.
Let's get to it. Let's.
Interesting.
What? I don't know what that was, man.
Okay.
Very gloomy place.
Yep. Okay, we've arrived at Gallows Hill. This is the highest point above Lancaster City. Over in the distance, we can just see the castle. This is the place that the Pendle Witches and anybody else to be executed through the sort of 14, 15 and 1600s would have been brought up here all around as their final resting place. We know from the book written by the court, they were executed on the 20th of August, on the morning of the 20th of August, 1612. Once they were pronounced dead, their bodies were cut down and they were buried in close proximity to the gallows. So this is the area where the Pendle Witches died and still here today.
And the gallows would be
About here, yeah. Now the best way of describing the gallows, if you imagine like a children's A-frame swing,
Yeah.
and there'd be 3 ropes dangling. So the accused will be brought up here, the rope would be put around their neck, they'd be stood on a stool, they'd be asked if they had any final words. Most of them confessed because they believed by confessing it would cleanse their soul and they would go to heaven rather than to hell. At that point the stool was kicked away and they were left dangling on the end of a rope. It took about 20 minutes to die because it was death by strangulation. If your family and friends were here, they could come up and hold onto your legs, put pressure on the rope so it would help you die quicker. So that was there's a saying in the UK, hangers on. That's where that saying comes from. So lots and lots of executions going on, lots of hangings going on. Down below us would be hundreds and hundreds of people, because the executions in the sort of 1600s were big public affairs. They were like fetes, big days out, big families. And of course, there was, every time that one of these poor unfortunate souls was left there twitching on the end of a rope, there was big swigs of ale, big cheers and everything else. So after 9 or 10 hangings, everybody would go home, and the next day they would wake up with
a hangover.
a hangover. The day after the hanging.
Is that really where that comes from?
Yep.
No way.
It is, yeah.
That's the origin of that?
That's the origin. So you got the hangers on.
That's fucking crazy. No fucking way.
Yeah, the hangers on, you were basically helping your family die, and everybody else was cheering and swigging the ale. And yeah, they went home hammered and come back with a hangover. Yeah, so once they were finished off twitching and they were dead, they were then cut down. Obviously they're buried. When we have a walk around, you can maybe spot some of the places where they're not buried, but all the places you can say, they could be buried here because the ground's much softer. Yeah, so that's where they stay today. It's just another day for Lancaster, the hanging capital of the northwest. Everybody would sort of leave, go back about their business until the next planned hanging day. Pendle witches today, they've not been pardoned. They're still classed as being executed for witchcraft. It is probably the most famous witch trials probably in the world. Everybody knows about the Pendle witches and the Pendle witch trials.
And what about paranormal activity?
Okay, right. Paranormal activity. We don't tend to do much up on the spot here. There's a little spot just off the side of the gallows where we can go down to, where we tend to do most of our investigation, if you like. One of the things that happens quite a lot, and it didn't happen tonight, we tried it, but it didn't happen tonight. Whenever we talk about one of the particular witches, a lady called Alice Nutter, who we talked about earlier as being the lady who was a thorn in the side of Roger Knowles, she was the woman with a voice, and she was the woman of money. Whenever we talk about Alice, we quite often get the really, really strong florally smell, say like lavender. Yeah, that usually comes along if Alice Nutter is around. She's quite a sort of very gentle soul, and she was the only witch that was hanging here that didn't confess. She's held out to the very end. Other activities that we quite often get unexplained lights seen down in the bottom bit that we're going to go to, and the Estes method always gives us a mixture of very sort of demanding, dark type stuff, as well as sort of people that are asking for help. The sound of people crying, usually from the women's side. The male element that we get down there is very sort of domineering, very demanding, and doesn't like you being there. Do you want to have a look at the Pendle witch?
What are these other memorials to?
Different times during the... There go the witches, 1612. A picture of the castle in the background.
And then the next year bowling? Is that what they're doing?
Yep.
Continue on with life like nothing ever.
Yeah. JTT and coffee.
So how many people do you think are hung out here?
Over the few hundred years, several hundred. Yeah, it was a monthly day out.
What are like the craziest reasons people got hung? Were there any like really weird laws?
Show me.
Yeah.
Bestiality.
Any weird laws.
Ooh. You could get hung for that?
Yeah.
Still should.
Yeah. Bestiality is one of the reasons recorded for hanging. Concealing a pregnancy. If a woman concealed a pregnancy, it was death by hanging.
No fucking way.
There was a story of one lady, I can't remember her name, Maggie, up in Edinburgh, and she concealed a pregnancy. She gave birth on the riverbanks outside Edinburgh. The family found out. She was taken and put in front of the judge. She was deemed to be executed for concealing childbirth. They hanged her, And then they went to the pub down the road for the wake, and this young man come running in, said, I think you better come out, there's noises coming from this coffin, and she wasn't dead. So they took her back to the judge, and he said, we can't hang her twice.
Holy shit.
Did she
Got
survive?
out.
Yeah, she survived and carried on and had a family, and yeah.
Holy shit.
But you can't hang somebody twice.
The Lord has
Holy-
deemed
So
her
yeah,
free.
concealing
Apparently.
childbirth was a hanging offence. Stealing, setting fire to a sheath of corn, execution.
And all those people are buried around here?
Yep, all in close proximity to the gallows.
That's a lot of graves. And I think it's interesting that you would imagine this would be like a gallows memorial,
Yeah.
but it's a sundial.
No, it's a sundial. There's no, other than the little plaque there, there's no mention that this was the execution site. It's just known as Gallows Hill, or now it's known as Williamson's Park. There was a gentleman built a monument over there in memory for his wife, and his name was Williamson.
But there's no mention anywhere of the gallows?
No mention that, the closest we get is the mention of the pub where they stopped on there for the last drink on the way up. After that, it's just...
That's crazy. Well,
But it was the ideal spot because execution was a spectator sport.
All right.
You get a nice hanging with the view.
Yeah.
Not my storm. Actually, bright and sunny today.
Sort of twigs breaking, not just like sort of falling, it's like full. But yeah, strange lights. But when you look inside of a hill, but we do get strange lights there. And this is the place quite often where we'll just sit and chat and talk about Alice Nutter and how she was wronged, and then she almost like comes in and brings this sweet smell with her. It's something that we've had on Pendle Hill as well. This sweet smell.
Really?
Yeah, quite creepy little area.
So this is right below the gallows.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
what's the most haunted area of this whole area?
Here where we are now, sort of anywhere around this dugout area, and then there's another path that takes us over the other side. It's very flat ground, very soft ground. Ideal place for burying somebody.
Indeed.
And again, it's
Some
just
lovely loose
stone's
soil.
from the gallows.
Are there any ghost stories from people around this area?
Often people will see, they'll be down in this area, and they will see figures walking across the top path. When there's nobody up there. A lot of lights, unexplained lights seen, particularly blue. People seem to report almost like ultraviolet blue, almost like bubbles, rather than sort of sparkles, almost like bubbles, blue lights. And it's like a static electricity. It sort of shoots quite quickly around. That's seen here. Yeah, figures seen. People almost like walking towards you, and if you can watch, it's almost like they're walking towards you but never get any closer. So it's almost like a walking motion, but they're not getting any closer. They're just there. That's something that happens down this side.
Anybody ever seen the witches up here?
People have said that they've made contact, and again, it is normally the smell that comes along with Alice. Roger is a name that comes up quite a lot, particularly when we're doing the Estes experiment. It tends to be more sadness and sorrow that we do pick up, particularly when we're doing sort of the Estes stuff with the women's voices, which again I would associate to maybe the Pendle Witches.
All right, man. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, I can show you the other area, and then sort of you can come back here, and then I can just leave you to it. Just fill your boots.
You can go to the other. Trying to go to the other area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on just a short walk.
Filled your boots,
How
and
about
I think
we
you filled
leave
his
the
too.
suitcase here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This almost feels creepier than Pendle Hill.
yeah. This, if you were going to bury a body now, it'd be here.
Right now?
Yeah.
You're not gonna kill us, are you?
Yeah. So to me, if Gallows Hill is just
I don't know,
that
boy.
way.
You
we
have
were
an
just over the other
axe?
side of it. So yeah, this is, to me, it would be an ideal spot for moths. For if you were going to bury a body, then this is it. Quite remote, away from everywhere else. Plenty of room, and yeah, has a creepy feel.
What about paranormal activity around here? Yeah.
Paranormal activity? Well,
Do you have any big animals around here?
No.
You hear that?
Yeah, we heard it before. It was almost, we were down in that little bit where we were behind the caravan, and it was almost somebody was coming crashing through the bushes. It was like somebody's going to, you know, sort of bigger than a squirrel's probably about the biggest thing that's in here. Yeah, on that path in particular there, we do get sort of footsteps heard. Dark shadows are seen again walking through. A lot of K2 spikes. Yeah, a lot of K2 spikes spread around this area and over by that tree in particular from past experience. We had somebody, there's a little pathway that leads back towards the Gallows. We did have somebody standing there one day and they were almost like pushed out the way.
Really?
Yeah, they were physically shot forward and they were standing on their own. It's probably worth having a little bit of a play on the pathway down there.
Also, there was an insane asylum here.
Yeah, just over the back there many years ago there was what we call a lunatic asylum. It's now, most of it's been knocked down. Part of the asylum gardens were part of this park, and most of it's gone now, and what's bits left of it are residential luxury apartments.
So you've got the history of the Pendle Witches, hundreds of executions, and an insane asylum.
Yeah, just a few feet away.
That's fucking crazy. What a dark park.
Honestly.
Yeah, just a stone toss away.
All right, man.
Can't swing a dead cat around here.
Is this the end of our tour?
Yeah. If you're gonna stay and do your stuff, it'll be interesting to see what you get, but I'm not staying.
All right.
Any
Talk to your
final
lads.
words before you leave us?
Don't be afraid of the dark, be afraid of what's in it.
Shit. Those are pretty good final words.
Me.
You're not gonna hang around?
Ah.
I stole it from him. That was
Yeah.
his joke.
It was okay, give him permission.
He gave me permission.
But yeah,
Alright.
definitely.
All right, guys, it's
Don't
1:30
be
in
afraid
the
of
morning
dark, be
right
afraid
now,
of what's in
and
it.
we're out at the bottom of Gallows Hill. It's creepy because when you look around here, it's completely pitch black. And what's interesting is that we sat here and talked to Paul for like 20 minutes before he left, and we've been sitting here setting up, and there are no noises. There's no big animals. There's nothing. So if we hear anything in the woods tonight, I'm gonna label that as unexplained, because so far this entire hour and a half that we've been out here, we've only heard one sound of like a twig snapping, and it came from that path. I'm super excited to be here. This is just the stuff that we live for and absolutely love doing, and couldn't do it without
Yeah, bro.
This little guy right here.
Hey guys,
You short little man.
it's me, Connor. Make sure that you go check out the Paranormal Files store. Get your
Actually
merch.
should.
We have all
I
sizes
really
right
should. I've already
now.
bought some twin paranormal. I should buy
Also,
some
the last
Paranormal
drop, so make
Files.
sure you go check everything out there. But anyways, we are here at Gallows Hill. We're gonna see what we can catch tonight on our devices and see what we can experience. It's very creepy out here.
Yeah, just look at this area, guys. Will you hold this? Show this. Just look at how creepy this is around here.
It's wild what little I can see here. That's some interesting foliage
Right here,
and rock
a little like
formations
theater
here.
place.
Feels
Yeah.
like you're being watched for sure.
Yeah.
Well, shall we get cracking?
Cracking,
Let's
do
get
your little
crack-a-lackin'.
Shakespeare in the park here, my boys. Oh, there it goes.
Dude, look at the fucking moon coming through those trees.
I know, it's eerie.
Dude, that is so spooky looking. All right.
To anybody who might be out here, any of the people who were executed here on Gallows Hill, specifically the Pendle Witches, we're calling out to all energies and entities that are out here. Follow our voices and please come speak with us. We're from America. My name is Colin.
My name's Connor.
We're here for some fish and chips. Check out the local cuisine. What was that? I'm hoping that's trees rubbing.
Attached.
No, thank you.
Oliver's attached to this place?
What's that?
It was like a whistle.
Hello? All right.
Attached to most of the land.
Attached most land?
Yeah.
If there's somebody here with us, if you see any of these little red lights... Oh, look, you're just touching that one. Yeah.
That's right. Go ahead. Keep going.
If you can touch any of these lights, that'll show us that you're here with us. Or
oh, look, wood cutting they're
you
doing
can use
here.
your voice.
Yeah, they can hear something and I can't because of the wind.
Is there
in the
somebody here
microphone.
with us right now? Can you give us a sign?
Attractive.
Well, thank you. I do try to keep up with the skull cleaning.
John's one of the witches who was hung here.
I know.
Oh, dude, I just got fucking chills. Oh my god, that's crazy.
I do believe the
first
proper
word,
terminology, though,
sure
is
popped up, but I didn't hear it.
warlock.
John?
Warlock.
Oh, dude, I just got fucking goosebumps everywhere. John? We just called out to you. Are you here with us?
Horse.
As they usually did. Horse.
They would have rode up here on horses. Yeah, been taken up here.
Horse. I think back for a
John.
horse.
I think I can feel you around here. Where are you?
Crunch, crunch. And there's no way anyone's into that. There's too much background noise. If there's whistling, I can't really hear
Are the spirit of
it.
the witches here?
I have my audio on max pretty much.
John, what do you remember about what happened in August 400 years ago? 1612.
Seven spirits.
Who are you? And where are you? Oh, it just looked like someone was up there. I don't like that. It looked like a fucking person standing there.
I love you. Donna.
I love you, Donna. Message from John, Donna.
Is Alice here tonight? Failing.
Smoke.
The water.
Can you tell us anything about
fire
where
in
you're
the
buried?
sky.
I'm very close by.
Oh.
I just got full body chills.
Thank you. Who's buried close by? John? Is that you?
Christianity.
Christianity.
What killed him?
Pretty much.
That's nuts.
That's crazy as hell. That's creepy too, because like they could be buried up there.
They could be buried right underneath us.
Gallows Hill is right up
We will
there.
make a noise.
You scream. Really?
Yeah. He's like, oh. Who's here with us
Wish
right
I could
now?
hear it, man. It's just so far gone with the audio.
Oh, dude.
Rico.
Such a windy night.
Frustration.
Frustrated with the king and queen? We're not representatives of the government or anything like that.
Ooh, heard of that.
Bro, that was right there.
That got you jumping, holy moly.
Thing like that. Thing like that. Hello?
I wonder if they heard them down the hill. So close enough to town you can hear the
Sorry.
sirens when something goes
Didn't
off.
mean to scream like that. That just...
Caught us very off guard.
That was literally like a footstep crunch. Like right there. If that was you walking right there, can you touch one of these lanterns you can see? If you see that purple ball, circle, or...
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Something
trying
like-
to be friendly.
Trying to be friendly, trying to communicate, trying to see who's here.
Dude, it is...
We know Han, and these things are new you know Han.
Short. Hello? Are any of the Pendle witches here?
Rocky. We're in a rocky area. All behind you.
Bro, I get such a fucking eerie vibe from over here. I swear to God, there's, like it said, a body. It just gives me, but it gives me the feeling,
Print.
it gives me the feeling of like unsettledness. Like it's not like a happy, like really.
I want to be
Significant.
here.
There's that.
We are still here.
Are you buried over here? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Look at that. Another whistle.
I got a weird smell. John or Alice, any of the
We can
Pendle
affect
witches.
you.
What is it?
It can affect you.
How are you going to affect us? How do you feel?
What was that? That was loud again. Quite the pop.
Hello? How do you feel? How do you feel? I know I'm like really.
You have nightmares.
Oh, thanks for that.
Yeah, I just had.
Don't need that.
Cow.
Cow?
Moo.
Dude, this is. There's something really weird here.
Can you hold this?
Broke a few of them, I'm sure.
No way.
That's so crazy. And it's weird because it's like most of the time they didn't break their necks. They'd have to have the family come hang on.
Flirtation.
Present.
Who is present?
God, that scared me.
The number is unclear.
so freaky out here.
It really has a really weird, mystical.
Bone?
So.
Bones!
Kill. Is this where you're buried? Oh. Bro, there's somebody right here. I just got such a ring in my ear.
Unfinished business.
That's what I said. It feels like it's not like it's sad. It's like kind of like angry.
Yeah.
Not so much sad, but frustrated.
I feel a ringing from over here. Are you... Can you touch one of these lights in front of us? Can you touch one of these lights in front of us if you're buried here? If your bones are here?
Liar.
You hear that?
Real quiet.
I feel somebody right here. Who? Can you tell me your name, please? John, is this still you? Alice? We want to move to another part of the park. Where should we go? Or can you give us any sort of an answer about whose body is back
You
here?
are lost.
You are lost.
Stop doing.
Stop doing.
You're lost?
To be quite honest, I don't know if I know how to get out of here right now.
Buttons.
Buttons.
Oh, there it is.
Print it.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Mentioned the buttons and touched the pretty lights.
It's imprint? Absolutely printed? What's up with the printing?
Cold woman.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, bone. Oh my god. Bone, unfinished business, liar, woman, cold, arrest.
That's like the story of the Pendle Witches.
Seriously.
Right
Is this one of the witches that we're speaking to?
there. Dude, hold this. Look at this whole device is completely frozen.
Oh, wow. No.
Contraption.
Contraption.
Interesting
This is so
timing.
strange.
False.
So you're talking about the Pendle Witches.
I am dead.
I'm glad you know that you're dead. But who are you?
Malevolent.
Somebody not happy.
Secret.
Malevolent secret?
What would that be?
Dried.
Probably not.
Oh, oh. Who's there? Oh,
got so quiet there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Claude?
My death. Oracle.
Who's hiding in the dark? You don't need to be afraid of us. We're about to walk to a new area, so if you want to tell us anything, this is your last chance.
Say goodbye.
Well, then goodbye.
Say goodbye,
Off into the forest trees. Ooh. Yo. On their way out.
Frequency. Something is following you.
Where?
What if it isn't the Pendle Witches, but it's one of like the
Don't
judges?
provoke me.
Were you a judge when you were alive?
Billy.
Really?
Billy.
I had Billy on mine too.
Easy.
Fail.
Easy, Connor. No, they're
Billy?
teasing you.
On the hill.
On the hill.
This light's about to die.
This battery's about to die. Shit.
Speaker.
On the hill, though. What the f? Pendle Hill? Gallows Hill? Look at my battery's about to die. Alright.
Time to move to the next location. I think it is.
Alright. I'm gonna pause the camera. We're gonna move on to a new area. My battery's about to die.
She hates you.
She hates you.
Well, but isn't she just a sweetheart for letting us
said,
know?
"I love
Hate
you"
you
earlier.
too.
And she hates you. Alright.
Stranded.
It seems a little more active down here. Hello.
So right now we are in that clearing area where Paul took us earlier, and this is the path where someone's been pushed before. We left our DR60 all the way down in the car. We're not going to go run and grab it, so unfortunately no DR60 on this episode, which is a bit disappointing.
Wah, wah,
But
wah.
we are
Know
going
where
to
to
sit
pack
here
that.
for a second.
Bring it.
Someone's eager beaver.
Bring it. Let's see what's down here.
Loved.
Love.
I just barely heard something over the noise.
I will talk to you.
Hi, how are you?
Who's the person talking?
This is
Instance.
You heard that it's the actual person talking?
no.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
There's like a man yelling. I couldn't hear what he was
Sure.
saying.
I didn't hear that.
Really? There's like a man yelling.
Oh, I
There's
just
like a
barely
man
heard that.
yelling.
I'm watching you. Concern.
Man. This has got to be one of the most genuinely creepy areas we've been in a long time. It really does feel like you're 360 being watched. And I don't get very uncomfortable nowadays, but I'm like really uncomfortable.
I just straight up heard a man yelling.
I didn't hear that.
Just barely make it out.
Who's with us right now? We heard that there's a spirit here who likes...
Jessica.
Hello, Jessica.
We heard that there's a spirit that likes to
Hey, girl, how you
push
doing?
people that is here.
Are you the pushy kind?
Who is that?
Ooh. That was loud as hell.
The light
That
just
was
turned
like
on?
stone on stone. That was something getting hit.
Bro, what the f, dude? Bro, that was right here.
What's that light up there?
Probably a street light.
Hello.
What was that knocking?
Oh. It came from the right side though.
I'm not playing.
Are there
Who
they?
is this? Jessica, who are you?
A
This
friendly
is hella
sort.
fucking creepy. Very careful, man.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Obviously creepy, of course. Hello, I haunt here.
Could you imagine a creepier night, dude? All this, and then you look up through the fucking witches' hanging trees, and there's a moon with the clouds. That's got to be the creepiest fucking sight imaginable. Who's the spirit that's evil around here?
13.
Don't quite answer our question here.
Hear how quiet it just got?
Died very recently.
Dude, this is so bizarre, man. This place is legit haunted. Like, we've done so many locations, but this is genuinely a place I didn't expect to be this eerie. And it's like, I'm like very uncomfortable
Family.
with my back to the darkness. It's like, it feels like if you imagine this is me, like my phone, it feels like there's somebody like right up on my neck, dude. It's
I know what you're saying. That face was crazy though.
I know. Chilling. Yeah, it is chilling. All right, we're gonna move over to Gallows Hill soon. Whoever's here, can you touch one of those lights? You could really, if you're evil and you want to scare us, that would be one way to really scare us.
She hates you.
She hates you again.
Condemnate.
Condemnate? Condemnate? Who hates us?
You will find things below.
Below.
Is your body buried right around here?
Maybe.
Bro, those are some creepy ass trees.
Mm-hmm.
A few.
A few.
A few.
Are there bodies? A few. What the f? Dude, this is crazy. All right. Give us the name of one person who's buried here, will you? Please, my friend? If you give us a name, we'll leave you alone and let you go back to just hanging around.
Oh, God.
I mean, chilling. Relaxing.
This is dangerous.
Please move back. This is dangerous. Right in the area with the violent spirit that pushes someone. Who's the angry spirit that pushes people?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
What?
It's just creepy out here.
Yeah. Again. All of a sudden.
Ooh. Heard something.
It's 11.
11 witches were tried. 10 were hanged. 1 was found not guilty.
Interesting. Interesting thought.
There are 11 bodies buried around here.
I'm over here. My name's
Is
Carl.
that? There it is there.
I bet that stands out from all the other noises too.
Bro. This is so eerie. People won't even get this. This is really strange because, like, dude, how many forests have we done that haven't even been, like, creepy? How many fucking houses that have we done? The hospital the other night, the Antwerp mansion, even Pendle Hill. This is creepier than Pendle Hill. Like, I'm genuinely so uncomfortable out here. What?
You not hear that?
No.
That last one right there.
What'd you hear?
Banging in the woods.
Hour.
We should go up to Gallows Hill.
We're gonna go up to Gallows Hill. Do you have anything else left to say? Dude, I'm like looking at the ground because I'm dark. I'm looking at the ground because I don't even want to look around. It's so creepy. That noise is really weird. All right, guys. We're gonna go up to Gallows Hill now to finish this out. And yeah, this is really creepy, man.
Let's go. Oh.
Hey everybody, it's Colin here. Thank you for watching today's video. Hello to all the new subscribers and hello to the rest of our beautiful, wonderful, spooky family. As you know, every single week here on the channel, we give away a free gift bag to one lucky viewer of the show. Smash that like seconds to do this 5 multiple times. My little spiel. Love you guys so much and stay spooky.
I'm gonna talk to the mic like this.
Yes,
because it's
much
so
like
windy.
myself right now.
We're up here right now on Gallows
I'm actually
Hill.
talking into
my
a
hair is also
karaoke
going
microphone, so it's
crazy
really
on
close
that
to my
mic
face.
shot because the wind is behind me. But to anybody who's here right now, any of the 10 Pendle witches that died here, or the hundreds of other people that were executed in this exact location, my name's Colin.
My name's Connor.
We just want to talk to you because somebody's been following us around tonight. And if you see those red lights next to us, you can touch those too.
All right.
Grotesque thoughts.
Mm.
Can
Whoa.
Someone has been following us around all night. Who? I thought I just heard a voice. Oh. All right.
It's me, boy.
Who?
Hey, guys. Body's gonna burn.
Who are we talking to right now? Thank you for setting that off.
It's Tom.
Who's Tom? Tom. Who are you, Tom?
Tom is me.
What the
Catherine?
Tom is me. Woo!
Were you executed here? Hanged here?
Caught up there.
What do you mean by that? Caught up on the gallows?
Yeah.
What were you executed for?
Michael Jackson, boy?
Why did they punish you?
Domination.
What do you mean by that?
Caught in there.
Caught in there? What do you mean?
I was 20.
Were you... So you were hanged here? Are any of the Pendle witches here? Any of the women from Barley? And men? I know, John, you were speaking with us. I want to know, where's your body, whoever's speaking with us? What does that mean?
Means I'm trying to make spooky noises.
That bake woman
That bake one.
over there.
You're buried over there?
Yes.
In this direction? Over here, you mean?
Left.
That's my left. There you go. L for left.
But don't say that.
Were you accused of witchcraft?
In the mountain.
Bro, he just looked over that way right when I looked that way. I keep thinking.
Hey, you know what?
I keep thinking I'm seeing
There's
figures
memories
over there.
of someone else. That was weird. It was like a full fucking sentence.
I've heard that the energy up here is sad, but it's honestly been kind of really creepy. So are you angry?
In my head, you'll see.
What do you
Not
mean
sure I
by
like
that? Are you angry that you were unfairly treated and convicted and then executed?
The way I feel about it.
What is the way that you feel? That's what I'm trying to ask politely.
I'm sad.
So you are sad. Who is this?
John.
So you're buried to the left, John? In that direction?
Yeah.
What do you remember about your death, if you don't mind me asking?
The dancers of the night.
What do you mean by that?
They seemed really helpful. Yeah.
Who did? Who seemed helpful?
Well, I bet you it was those quack doctors again.
John,
My friend.
John, did you ever actually participate in any sort of witchcraft? Any kind of magic?
I'm glad it's magic.
Magic. When I said magic.
They come through.
John, were you talking to spirits while you were alive? Or even demons?
I helped.
I don't think you deserve to be executed, John. Bro, I'm f***ing seeing things over here.
Horrible. Keep people close.
Dude, it looks like there's two little figures.
My love. Oh, this wind is crazy.
Bro, right when I said it looks like there's two figures. Your love? John, were you the one
Get out.
John, were you the one who said...
Yeah.
Were you the one that said you loved us?
Yes.
Why did you say that? Are you just happy that we're here to tell your story?
Good memories. My love. It keeps saying that. My love.
Do you miss somebody that you loved when you were alive? Maybe your mom, dad, girlfriend, wife? I don't know if you were married.
Got a little quiet again.
You know what they do. I'm sorry. So hard to find them.
Oh, dude, I feel like somebody's like walking up behind me. I have such a weird feeling.
The
all of a
ages.
sudden. Who just walked up behind me? Who is that?
That's Will.
Hi, Will.
Will? It said Will? Billy? Billy? Who is this person?
Silly little. Baby.
Where did our love go?
I just feel so uncomfortable all of a sudden. And I keep thinking like I'm seeing people.
Thank you for letting me know.
Sorry, I got your way.
Fucking.
Got another one to go off by him.
Jesus Christ, this wind. It's like blowing me over. Kill yourself.
Wind.
So crazy that one's not going off. Who just said that? Who told me to do that?
All the time. It was meant to help them. 150 pounds.
All right, well, we're gonna go soon. Is there anything else you want to say?
Ooh.
No! What the f? Got her.
60s.
Yo, it felt like something just fucking smacked me in the back of the head. I swear to fucking God.
What?
I swear to fucking God. It's... Yo, nah. Bro, I swear.
If they don't reverse it, I'll reverse it.
It felt like somebody just like hit me like that. No, let's get the fuck out of here, bro. No, bro, that. Yo, what the? I just got that on camera too. Like straight up, the fucking sound of it, I'm sure is gonna be on there. Of like literally someone going like this, like smacking you in the back of the fucking head.
So as you can see right there, I felt like I got smacked in the back of the head by something. Now, I've slowed this footage down. I've analyzed every second of this looking for some sort of a bug or something that might have hit the back of my head, but I haven't been able to find anything. There's also a tapping or smacking noise before I react, so I don't know if that's related to what I was feeling, but this whole thing definitely had me a little bit more than freaked out because this sort of stuff never happens to us.
That came out of nowhere too. We were about to fucking quit.
Oh my God, this place is fucked.
Yo, I have never had that happen before.
Let me see.
A little bit if that's... There's also a tap in my head, but I haven't been able to find anything.
It's hard to say with the wind, but yeah, you don't get a knee-jerk reaction to the wind like that. And made him knee-jerk so hard just the right time that it barely hit most of the noise too, which is kind of sad actually. I would have hoped that we could have heard that, but I don't think the other camera looking at him had any filter on, so it's probably a bunch of wind noise.
What I was feeling, but this whole thing definitely had me a little bit more than freaked out because this sort of stuff never happens to us.
That came out of nowhere too. We were about to fucking quit.
Oh my God, this place is fucked.
Yo, I have never had that happen before. What the fuck, dude? I'm like... I gotta calm down. Holy shit, I don't have a bug in my hair? Oh, shit, check. Use the mic so it doesn't fall. Oh.
This is the color.
Oh, the color. Check.
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Nothing's in here?
No.
Yo. That. Let's get the hell out of here. All right. That was so crazy because you weren't even saying anything like nuts or like, I was literally about to end it and it felt like someone just went and like tapped me. I don't know if I'm tripping out or if I'm gonna find the audio. I swear to God though, it felt like someone went like that to the back of my head.
What the hell?
Like, that is so trippy. And at the very end too, like what the fuck is that? Like, bro, that's crazy as hell. Like we were about to quit and if I don't know if it'll be on there or not. If it is though, that's
the
gonna
noise
be fucking crazy,
isn't, but
bro.
your reaction is
Finally
pretty stellar. That was some
crazy
like
as hell, right
holy
here.
smokes! What just hit me?
Whatever, Gallows. I was gonna say Pendle, Gallows
reactions. And by frame, you can tell something definitely legitimately got you.
All right.
And if that don't this, I'll back it up a bit.
Yo.
Let's go.
Yo, that shit is crazy. All right. To whoever's up here, I'm sorry if I just pissed you off with any of my questions or anything like that. I don't know if you just smacked me or if I'm just going crazy. Thank you though. And to all the people who were innocent and who were executed here, we are so sorry. But also to the evil thing that told me to kill myself too. We're covered in white light, protected by divine powers. You're not allowed to follow us home. You cannot attach to us. You have to stay up here. And once again, I'm sorry if I offended anybody and you smacked me.
Yeah.
Bro, that is so
I know.
crazy. Holy shit.
Get out of here before it does it again.
No, bro, I'm not even.
At the end of the night, I don't think we could believe just how much paranormal activity we had captured on camera that night.
Interesting things.
I mean, to us,
a lot of
we were
interesting
going out
noises,
to
even above
Gallows
all that
Hill,
background noise.
and we were expecting to catch something,
Something
but we didn't
flacked it
expect
pretty
the
good.
energy to feel quite like it did. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that energy that we were feeling was from the tortured spirits of executed prisoners that half or 3/4 of the time were completely innocent. If they were the spirits of the accused witches who were executed right there on that very spot taken from Pendle Hill. So many questions. All these videos always seem to end with questions, and that's because I'm genuinely hesitant to give you guys answers. I honestly don't have the answers, and I think that if someone tells you that they do, you should turn around and run. Because for as much activity as we captured, for as many bizarre responses that we received that night, we're still at square one with our understanding of that place. But I can tell you, Gallows Hill is one of the spookiest spots we've visited all year. And now that it's October, it's time for us to dive deep into the spooky darkness. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Next week, we will be at the Ancient Ram Inn. And as always, y'all,
we go.
we love you.
The Ram
Stay
Inn. I like to see somebody have a little bit of a tighter grip on what they're doing in that place. Because Sam and Kobe did it, and I think they got interfered with. And they had guests, so they weren't really that well focused that night, I feel. So with that said and done, thank you all again for watching. I hope you'll enjoy. Check the links out again below for the original video. And if you're interested, check out the other links down there for my socials, my live streaming channel, and finally, but not leastly, the merch store. We'll find shirts like this one on there. And actually, let me know if maybe we should do a Halloween shirt next year. Maybe we should do a Halloween shirt. Spooky season of some kind. Let me know what you think. But that's going to be it for this week. And that should be it for Twin Paranormal and for Paranormal Files. So I hope you all enjoyed. I hope everything turned out well. And I will see you all again next time. Pleasant dreams.